Hey everyone, welcome to our leadership series. I'm just trying to work out how to get Mish and Vanessa on. Just give me one sec. Hey guys, just bear with us one sec. Just trying to figure out how to get Vanessa and Mish on, because we normally use Zoom when we have more than one person on, so just bear with us. Sorry guys, just give me one more minute. I'm not sure why it's not working. Just a moment. Technology is always super fun. Please work. Sorry guys, just give us one more minute. If this doesn't work, we'll just jump on a Zoom and we'll upload it to YouTube. Is that you, Vanessa? Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Oh. It's okay. It's keeping it real. Everyone knows that even we all struggle with technology.
Oh God, seriously.
I don't even know what happened. Anyways, let's just go with it.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We apologize for the kind of craziness that's happened. We had this idea to do kind of like a leadership mastermind call once a month on the first Sunday of each month. And we'll just be pulling in like different topics. I've already asked people on my event page what they'd like us to talk about. We have like another 2 years worth of topics to talk about. So thank you for that. And we'll be pulling like different Australian world leaders into these calls. Like it's more just a place for us just to chat about, you know, what's happening as leaders, like how can we focus on one singular topic so that you guys can reuse those videos again, because they'll be up on YouTube. It's kind of collaborative effort between Anastasia, Vanessa, Jessie, and I, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be from us. We're just here to moderate it and kind of, you know, just do things. So, yeah, should we just get into it, or did you guys want to say anything really quickly before I?
No, you start your bit, and we'll come in there.
Okay, cool. So we're just going to talk about the 2 promotions this month that we know about so far. The first one is Bergamo, which is the 10% off product in Australia this month. The oil of self-acceptance. So it's a great oil to use with balance. It's a great oil to use. One of my favorite combinations at the moment is cinnamon, Roman chamomile, and bergamot. I love it so much. That's a beautiful combination for people who struggle with like self-love, and I've been using it a lot with kind of working through my food addiction type stuff. Bergamot is also really good in food. I think, Vanessa, you had a really yummy citrus dressing with bergamot that you put up.
Yep, I did. It's on my Food Alchemy website.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful thing. It's 10% off. You can never not have enough bergamot. I think it's a wonderful oil to diffuse. I mean, there's lots of things you can use it for, but it's a great oil. And then a product of the month is Aroma Touch. So a little story with Aroma Touch. My grandma, she fell down the side of a river. She was taking a photo and she fractured her pelvis, which sent her into like 6 months of pretty much low mood. And she almost couldn't even walk. And she's been using Ice Blue and Aroma Touch on her legs and her back. And now she's completely pain-free and able to walk. So it's an amazing oil for, it's the massage blend. So it's an amazing oil for looking at increasing circulation, supporting muscles and joints, and really helping a lot with nerve issues, and just really great for relaxation. It's a bit more gentle than Ice Blue. I actually like 1 or 2 drops of Aroma Touch in a bath with Epsom salt. It's beautiful. And those are the kind of the products this month. The other thing I wanted to just touch on really fast is, as it's starting Diamond Club, to recognize that if you are someone who is not doing Diamond Club, but you have an upline who is doing Diamond Club, or someone on your team who is doing Diamond Club, to really partner with them in the coming months ahead, between February to May of this year, to make sure that you're linking in with them and asking them, saying, I have a class coming up. Can you come to the class? Would you like to collaborate? I have a one-on-one coming up. And if you're also doing Diamond Club, to reach out to your downlines and to be explicit, really, about what dates and times you actually have free. I've done Diamond Club. Jessie has done Diamond Club. Vanessa does Diamond Club as her business. I mean, it's like sit around. I mean, I'm like doing Diamond Club in February. I think I'm doing like 15 classes or something stupid like that. But it's the thing is that when you're doing Diamond Club, if you're not being specific about when you have times available, you can't expect people in their busy lives to book in. So I always say, I don't know about you, Jessie, when you did Diamond Club, like I always said to them, I have these dates free, this time free, this area I'll be in. Like I was really, really specific about when I was free and what exactly what I needed from people. And I also like went on, like we didn't have Facebook Live then, but I did videos of, what is Diamond Club? What do I expect? What can I bring? What do I do? I listed every single class I could teach. And like, I just had to be really, not aggressive, but like really clear about exactly what I wanted out of them. And I think there's a bit of timidness around that about, oh, would you like to book a class? Everyone's like, they're just too busy. You have to say, I need you to book a class. This is what I do. I'll be there for an hour so I can teach. This is where I'll be. I'm free these days. Like I felt like I had to be a bit more explicit about that, because when you're doing Diamond Club, things are going to happen. Things are going to get rescheduled. Classes aren't going to have any enrollments. You're going to get sick. Your car is going to break down. Your flight's going to get canceled. Like you need to make sure you're not just doing the bare minimum. And you need to be clear about when you are and aren't available. So
let's not manifest any of that shit happening. But yeah, things can happen.
Things can definitely happen, and it can be
way more classes booked than the bare minimum, as Mish said. The other thing that I would suggest is don't tell people not to work out what is a good time for their friends and family and colleagues and whoever they want to come, because they'll spend 6 months going back and forward for a time that works for everyone. Just say, this is a good time for me. What's a good time for you? Those who can make it will make it. Otherwise, we can book in another class later for those that can't, that were interested but couldn't for whatever reason. So yeah, get clear with someone, not working out a best time for them and their friends, because it'll take 6 months and 10 years later, and everyone will be dead by then. So yeah,
hopefully not dead. But no, but I just think it's really important to be, like Jessie says, is to be really like manifesting positive and always having more than you need, being abundant in that. And it's amazing when you give people specific instructions and a clear direction as to exactly what you need, and when you're available, you will get so much more back then like Jessie said, when does it work for you? When can I have it? Does Friday work for you? No, Friday doesn't work. Does Saturday work for you? No, Saturday doesn't work. It's like, just tell them when you're available and they will come. But if you don't tell them when you're available, they won't come as clearly as you'd like them to be in some instances. Like last year, I remember just having like a full entire Facebook post of like all my dates. And I would just go back and delete them as I got booked. And so it was this really cool momentum on my team page where it was like, oh, I need to get in. Oh, do you have anything left on Thursday? No, I don't. You know, so it was just this really cool momentum. There's a lot of power in writing stuff down and crossing it off as an accomplishment. There's so much power in that. And we need to be mindful of that. The other thing that I was telling my girls or my team to do as well is to make up a calendar. It can just be a written calendar or an online calendar where you cross off days when you aren't available and write down the times and places that you are available and use that as a screenshot that you then can send to people, or you can print off and have at classes so that you can book classes from classes, which is one of the things that Jessie and Vanessa and I all talk about is the idea of momentum. So again, people can't book classes off of classes if they don't know when you're free. And if you can lock them in on the date because you've given them a calendar to lock them in, then you're more likely to have it done as opposed to saying, oh, I'll ring you tomorrow. And then it just becomes this ping pong ball thing. So those are my advice for Diamond Club if you're in it. And also if you're looking at being supported by someone in Diamond Club, they're not taking your enrollments. They're literally just doing all the grunt work, which is awesome because they have to put everything through the portal. And also all of your enrollments get free oil. So that's even cool as well. And you're helping out somebody on your team, which is exactly what we're going to segue into right now, which is about doTERRA culture. And Vanessa is going to speak on doTERRA culture. What is it? How to maintain it? How to permeate it through your team? And how it can, if we're not aligned with that, what that can kind of do to our momentum and our vibe and our team. So without further ado, Ms. President, I will give it over to you.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'd love it to be a collaboration with the three of us, actually. I'm going to begin with something that really sings to me with doTERRA's mission, doTERRA's purpose, and something that infuses every aspect of its culture, and that is the word hope. doTERRA offers hope to the world. And we, as its wellness advocates, as the co-creators and creatrixes that are present to share doTERRA, we stand as the flame of hope for so many. We're just the vessel for that hope. We pass those oils around, and the gifts the oils bring deliver the hope, right? So if we look at the word hope and we have a little play with it, we can look at H as honoring, O for hour, P for people, E enthusiastically. Honoring our people enthusiastically. So as we look at that and the way it permeates doTERRA culture, the way that we honor our people is through empowerment, embracing them, right? As we truly honor them and stand in that, something really magical happens. We stand together as collaborators. And what happens is it keeps us in the space of love, which means we collaborate together fearlessly, right? There's no desperation. There's no struggle. There are no claws out. There's no hook, line, and sinkers. And there is no claiming or ownership of anyone else when we stand in the truth of what our culture is. As we progress in doTERRA and we do this whole ranking thing, what I find is people start using words like pushing for rank, struggling, trying to fill volume. I need more. I got to get more, right? So it can, not always, but it can take us out of our heart space so that all you're focused then on is numbers. And what I would say to you is everyone that you touch and you bring hope to, everyone that you work with and collaborate with is a soul. The moment you start thinking about plugging in volume and hitting the next rank and pushing your team to get to where you want them to be without even listening to what they want, the moment you do that, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Choose the soul fullness, and instead it becomes numbers. It's demoralizing for your tree of love or your tribe, whatever you want to call it. It's disempowering, and it is dishonoring, actually. So the heart and soul of doTERRA's culture, I feel, was embodied really beautifully to me and with me when I first enrolled in doTERRA by my gorgeous friend and upline, Tanya Maidmont. She's a diamond leader in doTERRA and has one of the biggest hearts that I've ever come across in my life. She consistently honors, consistently reaches out, consistently serves. And this to me represents the heart and soul actually of what doTERRA is. And these early founders in the beginning stages had no idea what they were doing, right? And yet they had every idea, right? They were the ones that began to lay the foundations of hope in Australia, bringing hope in Australia, right? And they did that in their own magical ways, right? Now, when we come out of or fall out of honoring, right, and recognizing where it all began, which is with 7 incredible owners, right, planting the seeds of hope within each other, right, and starting this company, because that's where it all began, them hand bottling everything. We've all seen the photos, right, and getting excited and smelling and, you know, lifting the lids off and, oh my goodness, it's here, it's bottled. We go back to that and we come back to the present moment right now and we say, so every time I take a lid off the bottle and I pass that around or I inhale it for me, this is a messenger of hope. This brings the energy of collaboration, of magic, of transformation, and pure alchemy. When we unify as a force of love in our leadership, the alchemy then spreads. So you'll see Jessie, Anastasia, Mish, myself, Emma Knight, Kirsten Thrush, Karen Miller, Michelle Ragg, Chantel Roloffs, so many of these new people, you know, in italics, us newbies coming together, and we all work together. We all dance together. A message to Tara Bliss. Honey, we're doing this. Are you around? Are you in Perth for this time? Would you love to speak at our elite retreat? Absolutely. Tell me when and where. I'm going to be in Perth then. And so on and so forth. That is actually fundamental to the culture of doTERRA. Nothing is ours. I'm going to say nothing is ours. The brilliance that is Jessie, that is Mish, that is Adish, that is Natalie and Goddard, that is the Shedavis, that is all these amazing people in the world. The brilliance that is them cannot shine and cannot stand alone without all of us collaborating to hold the energy of it. The energy of the Goddards is phenomenal. It touches us all. Most of us are in their downline, right? And the reason why it holds so much power is because it has the ability to rise us up. They stand true to it. They stay the course. They never waver. The moment that they feel, you know, the voice of doubt or whatever it is that comes in, not just the Goddards, all of these great minds, they work on it to dissolve it. There is nothing humble in putting yourself down or in standing down because you think that if I shine too much, I might be cut down. And for those of you out there that feel like I'll never be a fill the blank, I'll never be an Emma Knight, I'll never be a Jessie Reimers, I'll never be able to pull off what Tara Bliss does, or whatever your projection is out there, I would remind you of this. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Stand not to judge yourself nor anyone else. Instead, remember the culture of doTERRA. And for me, it happens to be the word hope. For you, it could be anything. But we honor our people enthusiastically. We embrace them every moment. Every time someone succeeds, celebrate them, cheer. Every time someone reaches a new level of their own soul development. You know, someone may have been having a conniption last week, and this week the same thing comes up for them and they transcend it. Celebrate them. Don't just celebrate the ranks. Celebrate all the breaths in between. Remind them of their magnificence by remembering your magnificence. This actually is the culture of doTERRA. Seek not to tear anyone down, to try and make yourself feel better. Seek instead to elevate them so much that your vibration can't help but lift and raise with them. This is why we're here, folks. We're here to stand together as a unified force, as a unified front, as a gift of love to every single person we touched on the airways, via social media, texting, whatever it is, in the heart-to-heart, one-on-one embrace. Seek to be the best version of yourself every day, to be the leader you want your leaders to be. If you see or feel there's a void, if you feel that, you know, if you have the projection that head office could be doing more, and I wish they communicated faster to us, and all of these hardcore judgments without knowing what's going on the other side, where is it in you that you're judging you? Where are you feeling you're not showing up, that you're not letting people know fast enough or quickly enough about said events, right? Where are you not planning to the capacity that you could be? Or you might say, maybe I am. But who are you to judge another's behavior without knowing the full story, right? That's not our role. Right? We can't even begin to understand what's happening at head office and in corporate here or anywhere else in the world. They got a lot they got to manage. You know, look at the growth of Australia alone. It is off the Richter scale. You try keeping up with that. You're struggling to keep up with your own tree's growth, right? And they're keeping up with the whole nation. Have compassion. Come into your compassionate hearts for corporate and their incredible ability to fly all over the globe to serve us, Spencer coming and living in Australia for a time to support us in corporate. One of the 7 owners at least, always here for leadership or for convention or for incentive trips or whatever it might be. There's always someone there. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. See how amazing they are. I can tell you, Paul and I travel a lot, as do most of you, but we travel, you know, huge amounts. And it is exhausting and it is trying on the system, right? Sometimes all you want is your own bed. Sometimes you get off a plane and you got to perform, you got to do that class, you got to do that event, right? Think of these amazing owners that non-stop travel and they literally get off a plane from America to Australia, not just from, you know, East Coast to West Coast or West Coast to East Coast. And they get on that stage and they give us their all. Dr. Hill talks all day without stopping and then does not leave till the last person in that line is seen to. That, my friends, is the culture of doTERRA. It is pure. It is unconditional. They and we are humans. We will make mistakes. And all I will say is we all learn from our mistakes. Every single adversity, every adversity has seeds of greater success. So I'm going to invite you to step into mindfulness. Before you speak, feel what it is you're feeling. Listen to the chatter in your mind and ask yourself, does it serve me to talk about this, to post about this? Does it serve me? Does it serve the higher good of all concerned?
Awesome, Vanessa.
Yes. What do you want to add, sweetheart?
Yes, thank you, Vanessa. That was epic. I understand what it's like to be in the desperation mentality and to feel like other people in your area are going to sign everyone up and you'll be left with nothing. And other people in your industry are better at what you're doing than you are. I've had these feelings with Tara Bliss. I had them when Kazane, the raw food chef, started building in Brisbane. Brisbane's a bloody big place, by the way, and I thought Zane was going to overtake the whole of Brisbane. I would be left with nothing. How bad my scarcity mentality was. It was like next level, literally. Yeah. When Tara Bliss, I rang up Shannon, who's one of my diamonds, crying and said, I got to quit now. It's all over. Tara Bliss has started. It's literally how bad my scarcity mentality was. Really not even funny. It's disgusting. So I get it. I get that you like want to sign everyone up, and you feel like you've talked to that person once, so they're yours, and how dare anyone else sample them, and you're going to sign them up first, and even taking other people in your own team's enrollments. I get it. And if you've done some of these behaviors, have compassion with yourself. That you've been in a place of desperation and scarcity and lack, and done what you could to survive. A lot of people are operating in survival mode, and I know that I was. So I get it. But it doesn't serve you. And the people that I see poaching and cheating and doing the wrong thing and treating people like numbers do not end up, unless they shift it like I did, do not end up, and I didn't poach or cheat or do any of that, but I'm saying I was in that headspace of feeling like other people were going to take all the enrollments and trying to sign up everyone up was with. Those people that do the wrong thing do not end up with the large teams, with the leadership pools, with the changing lives and growth and personal development and all of the incredible things that you want to have. It just doesn't lead you there. It leads you to fights in your own team. It leads you to, disharmony with crossline. It leads you to unhappiness with the team members that you have. It does not lead to good places. What leads to good places is collaboration and understanding fully that there is enough, absolutely more than enough for generations for everyone to have enough to go around. So as I always say, 0.004% of the Australian population even have a wholesale account. And if you are in a small country town, because I do hear this kind of stuff happening more in rural areas, I'm sure it happens in cities as well, but this is just what I'm hearing at the moment. Get outside of the area as well. Understand there's enough to go around there. Have total integrity with whoever's invited gets to enroll, and understand also that the person enrolling gets to make a choice. Maybe you have sampled someone and they choose to enroll with someone else. That is okay as well, and understand that there's more than enough to go around, and you will have enrollments. As long as you're sharing from your heart and educating, empowering people and doing the right thing, things will come your way. But maybe get outside of just your country town. Travel, drive, fly, get on social media and explore other areas outside of where you geographically live, because that's how a lot of us have built teams the size we have. Vanessa just said she's constantly traveling. Mish did Diamond Club. I did Diamond Club. I'm traveling all over Australia again this year, and that is a really effective way to, get outside of your own area and continue expanding your market and building your business. But just come back to integrity. And I have, 10, 15 people contact me a week complaining about the team they're in and wanting to move to my team. It would be so easy for me to poach every man and his dog in the country, let me tell you. It happens constantly. But I don't actually want people in my team that can't bloom where they're planted and take personal responsibility. If they're going to talk smack about their current upline, they'll probably talk smack about me if they're in my team too. So come back to that place of knowing that you will touch and reach lives, that you will have a certain magnet to some people, and people will be magnetized to other people. Some people will resonate better with Vanessa and Mish than me. Some people can't stand me. That's cool. I'm sure I'm highly irritating to many, many people. Other people love me and are attracted to what I'm doing and want to be a part of what I'm creating. We're all going to create our own tribe. We're all going to do well if we take action, maintain integrity, share the oils, come back to our heart space, and really do that work around releasing the lack, scarcity, poverty, desperation mentality. Use your oils around that. Wild orange, oil of abundance; ginger, the oil of empowerment; patchouli, the oil of physicality or being present in your physical body. I talk about all the time. Get manifesting, tap through the poverty, desperation, scarcity mindset. There's heaps on Brad Yates' YouTube channel, or make your own.
Marianne Williamson, The Divine Law of Compensation. Louise Hay, You Can Create an Exceptional Life, or You Can Heal Your Life, but you can create an exceptional life specifically for working with that poverty consciousness and shifting that. It's really important work. I've had to do a lot of it, and I still need to do a lot of it to move from that. So I understand if you've been there, but know that you can shift, you can change, and you can bring yourself back into integrity, and that will duplicate within your team. So get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's something that I find really useful when people are going judgment, getting or like you said, Jessie, starting to I sample them first, you know, is something really beautiful that Byron Katie shares on is there's 3 types of business. There's my business, your business, and God's business, right? Now, God's business, there's no religious affiliation to this when she talks about it. That's reality, okay? So when the tsunamis hit, when the earthquakes happen, that's God's business, right? We can't really do much about that. We can support the after effects, but we can't do much about it. Me sampling someone and them choosing to then enroll with someone else, whose business is that? Is that mine or is that theirs? Okay, so let's break it down. One is that I could just be not following up, right? So that's my business. I haven't had the courage to follow up, to do what's needed, to touch base with them, or maybe I haven't had the courage to let them know that I'm sharing doTERRA and doing this as a lifestyle or as a business, and when you're ready, I'd really love for you to join my tree of love, right? So that aspect's my business. But everything else, that falls into your business. It's their business to choose whoever it is that they choose to enroll with, right? It's their business to choose how they want to live and how they want to share. My business is to support those that are journeying this with me with love, to do the best I can do every day. Doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. Absolutely I do. Today I made a great mistake. But, you know, the person that I engaged with this, she at least had the courage and the grace and the love to let me know what would have been her preference in that. And it was fabulous. It was such a great learning for me, right? So don't fall into minding other people's business. You just mind your own business, put your energy in your own business, and you will flourish. I think Paul worked out it's like 0.02% or 0.002%. Do you remember what he was telling us, Jess, that are enrolled in Australia?
Yeah, my last calculation was 0.004% of the Australian population even have an account. And of those, you know, 85% are just going to be product users, 15% sharers, maybe 5 to 1% going out and actively building a hardcore business with doTERRA. So there's opportunity for generations upon generations upon generations to come. We have, 24 million people in Australia, and around 100,000 even have a wholesale account. And then an even smaller percentage building a business. So there's massive potential for growth. And it's not just in Australia. If you have contacts in Europe, America, Japan, Singapore, there's, you know, opportunity all over the world. China, obviously, it's not going to go away. Calm down and just go with integrity. Also, I'd like to talk a little bit about bullying, bullying and victim mentality. Talking smack about people doesn't lead anywhere good either. It's, you know, and I think there's going to be stuff shared at Leadership Retreat, but I do want to touch briefly on something that I've heard before is, what are the 3 things you think about your upline, and what are 3 things you think about your downline, and writing down those words, and then reflecting on what you think about upline and downline, and really seeing where you see that in yourself and a reflection of self, and really starting to work on that. And just don't talk about other people to other people in your business, to Crossline, to anyone. You need to have maybe one safe space to discuss if you're having challenges with someone, but in a productive way. How can we work through this? What can be done to support? Not, you know, texting other people about people and messaging and bagging someone to hell. You need to take personal responsibility for your business. It's not up to your upline. It's not up to your downline. It's not up to Dave Sterling. It's not up to You know, I come back to, I've never had anyone placed in my business, and I'm proud of that. I've built what I have, and they're busy building their other legs because I'm the gun leg. So if you're not getting people placed under you, it's probably because you're amazing. So take it as a compliment. And if you want training and resources and files and videos and this and that, and you're not finding them from your upline, create them yourself. Like, how do you think I've created all my training, all my Facebook files, everything that we've done? How do you think Vanessa and Paul have created all the incredible stuff they do? How do you think Mish does all these webinars? She's like, oh, I see a gap for some knowledge we could create here, and she does it. It's literally your responsibility to do things that you want done, not other people's. It's your business. You get to be the leader that you want to have. And also reach out, go to events and make relationships with other people. That's how Vanessa and I met. That's how Mish and I met. So convention and leadership retreat, that's how I've created these incredible friendships and collaborations in my life, by attending events and making an effort to engage with people. And I'm an introvert on the autistic spectrum, and I make that effort to engage and communicate and connect with people. So there's really no excuse for isolating yourself and blaming absolutely everyone around you for why you're not moving forward in your business. It's your responsibility. Take the time to make connections and stop talking badly about other people, because really you're just talking badly about yourself, and it's a reflection of the things that you're struggling with in yourself. So work on the self-love, work on the affirmations, work on mirror work on using the oils for self-acceptance, work on releasing judgment. I'm sure Vanessa has more to say on this, but I'm just kind of, I've got to be in my bonnet. I'm a little bit over it.
I just wanted to say before we feedback really bad. Is that better? I just thought to myself, I had this vision of what if you like went, you know, Emily Wright pulls you in and she said, can you just talk about how you've, you know, grown your business, and, you know, what would you want, how would you want to explain your business to Emily Wright or to Dr. Hill or to David Sterling? Like, if they asked you, like, how do you want to be known by people who you deeply admire, who, you know, literally mortgaged every last cent to their name, like mortgaged their whole entire life to start this business? How do I want to be a steward of that? And what I always say to myself is that I will work relentlessly. I will work as hard as I can. And when I feel off, when I feel like I'm getting that scarcity mentality, I'm not going to maintain rank and it's all falling apart, I have to, I was just talking to Jessie about this today. I was like, those are always red flags to me that I'm not taking care of myself and I'm not acting out of a place of service. You know, doTERRA started, in my opinion, as a tool, especially for the American system that's completely medicalized, as a tool to serve people with the best that they could give. So if you every day just show up to serve people the best that you can do with the oils that you've got, you're winning. The moment that you start to pull back from that, you're pulling back from the foundation of the culture of doTERRA. And I always think, you know, how can you build a culture yourself and also within your team that is duplicatable? Like, if I start being pissed off at Jessie for enrolling all of the people, you know, in Adelaide or whatever, then that animosity that I have permeates my leaders. You know, it's just like if it's, you know, whoever you hang out with is who you act like. So you have to be mindful of the attitude that you bring to the table. I mean, of course there's frustrations. I mean, having frustrations or having a critical eye isn't a bad thing, because it allows us to streamline and change and rework things. Like, that's not what we're trying to say. It's not like, oh, everything's wonderful, because everything's not always wonderful and things do need to be addressed. But it's about what state you constantly come from. And if you're finding yourself being dragged down, then you need to probably just pump the brakes a bit and say, how can I bring myself back into a heart of service? And am I okay with the way that I'm leading my business if David Sterling asked me how my business is going? If he got a brief about my business that flew across his table, would it represent what I really wanted to represent? And if you can do that, you'll act in integrity, because people will be attracted to that energy. When you're pissed off and grumpy and in a scarcity mentality, people are not attracted to that energy, and you will start attracting people who are wishy-washy and are just trying to use you to get the best deal, because you're trying to use them to get the numbers. But when you start acting out of a place of service and you create a culture where that's the norm, where people across the line are collaborating, where I'm working with Vanessa, or I'm working with Tara, or I'm working with Kim Reed, or I'm working with, yoga studio people who already have an account with somebody else, but just because we're working for the common good of other people, that culture is more sustainable and have longer term positive impacts than just being totally focused on just making your team the best. I literally stalked Jessie. Like the first leadership retreat, I tapped her shoulder. I remember you were wearing, I think you're wearing like that skirt, that plaid skirt or whatever you're wearing. And I just remember you looking at me going, who the hell is this girl? I don't even know her. But if you want to collaborate with other people and you want to take that next level in your career, you need to do that with grace, and you need to show up as a leader.
Yeah. Mish was literally a scary stalker. She positioned herself opposite me at the table. She's like, "Hi, Jessie." I'm like, "Hey, crazy American, how's it going?" But that's how you develop these relationships. If I hadn't shown up to the first convention and Vanessa was speaking at the Share Success, I was speaking, and I don't even know how we first had a conversation. I think Vanessa walked up to me because she saw me breastfeeding Ned, and she liked what she saw. She liked these, so she came and said hello. Is that how it happened?
It may have been Ned I was drawn to, but you can say it was your pretty little boobies. I just wanted to add here. Maybe something's happening. I'm getting feedback, Jess.
I'll mute myself. Sorry, mate.
Okay. So something I was just reminded of as you guys were speaking, something Dave Sterling said, and he said, metabolize the poison. Just sit with that for a minute. If we can all metabolize the poison, imagine what will transpire. Rather than partaking of it and fueling it, if we just metabolize it. How you do that is up to you. Paul and I have our way of doing it. But that means tall poppy won't exist, cutting people down won't exist. It really will be, rise brother, rise sister. I celebrate you, I honor you every moment. And like Mish and Jessie have pointed out, and, I hope you know this of me, dance with the shadow when you need to. When you feel like something's happened that doesn't sit right for you, speak about it, like Jess suggested, to someone safe, not 100 people, not vomiting all over Facebook, right? Be responsible for what it is that occurs for you.
Don't vomit downline. Just don't do it. Don't vomit in groups. Don't vomit in downline. Don't spread the negativity. Call someone safe, and that may even be not a person in doTERRA. It might be vomiting to your partner. It might be vomiting to your best friend that is a nurse and has nothing to do with it. It may well be vomiting to a crossline or upline when appropriate as well. So there does need to be safe space, but certainly not downline, certainly not in groups, and certainly not mass text messages or whatever. It's just
absolutely. So can I lend a couple of links to end? Yep. Okay. So one for hope that I really felt coming through strongly was Petty Grain. I absolutely love this oil. I was stoked when this came in, and Spikenard as well. But combine Petty Grain, bergamot, and frankincense to remember that core mission or the crux of our culture. And as I was remembering about metabolize the poison, these oils came through, which was spikenard, rose, and myrrh. Okay, so each of those are holy oils. They're very sacred oils. Actually, it was believed that Mary Magdalene anointed Jesus's feet with spikenard. Spikenard's very earthy, grounding, and when we have a huge mission in life, we need that, and we need the protection spikenard brings. Right, when the lighter, the brighter you are, the more we often need that support, something to fill our cup. And then Rose, of course, helps us to stay in our unconditional heart, right? This is great for men and women, to return to love. And Myrrh is the sacred mother energy, so healing that woundedness, any wounding that happens. You can hear the call of the goddess or Mother Earth, the Heavenly Mother, saying, bring it to me. This was never meant to be yours. Let me carry it. Give me your burdens, lighten and brighten yourself, and return to love and return to your truth. So I hope that helps.
Awesome. Also, I have found Brad Yates' resentment tapping extremely helpful. There are times when we will feel those feelings, and also letting go, not just like holding on to something and holding a grudge for life. Stuff happens, do the resentment tapping, do the letting go, use the blends that Vanessa mentioned, and return to love, and focus your energy. Like literally, it shits me to tears how much energy you put into crap, when if you put that energy into like service and building your business and doing classes and creating training and engaging with people that are inspiring you and like building the positive energy and raising the vibration, wow, we have like 100 presidential diamonds right now today. And we will, of course. That's, you know, Australia is really just getting started and we're growing rapidly and it's going to be incredible. But the amount of energy I see pissed away, as Vanessa says, don't piss away the energy on rubbish when it could be spent on such incredible things and changing lives and serving the greater good. Let's focus it there and let go of this crap, because it's just not serving anyone at all.
The only other one that I really like is sorry, just feeding back. I am obsessed with yin yoga, and combine that with kind of what Jessie is saying and Vanessa is saying with the oils. I find yin yoga, or any sort. I wasn't really into yoga, but I found yin yoga for me, for someone who's really high energy, high vibration, doesn't sit down, can't meditate at the moment because my brain is so crazy busy. I found yin yoga to be really good at releasing, especially our hips and our backs and our thighs as women, where we carry so much emotion, of sitting in it for 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, and you'll find that you'll just have this absolutely amazing release of emotion. If that's crying, laughing, just peace, where we give ourselves space to actually decompress what we're feeling and bring on forgiveness. I'm excited for those blends. So I guess we'll just end it from there, shall we? Is there anything else that anybody wants to say before we end?
I'll just, you guys gave some awesome points. So I'll share what I do, because maybe there are some people more like me for something different. What I find really rocks and helps me to dissolve that which no longer serves and all the crap and the heavy stuff is chanting. I really love it, and you're going to laugh, but I crank it and I'll chant and really, really, you know, lift my vibration through sound and resonance, or give myself like a bowl bath or gong. Dancing really works for me really well, and squatting. So I just put both feet flat on the earth and my hands in prayer, kind of, you know, propped like that between my legs, and I'll just breathe. And I just take myself through cycles of breath, and then I'll just lay in savasana after that. And if I need to, I'll come back up into it. I walk every day, an hour and a half with Jasper, and, you know, part of that is walking, and I've got chanting going oftentimes. And, you know, running around and playing with him on the grass, that's really good too. So I find play is awesome. Ariel and I will get in and do art together, painting and stuff. So I guess what we're all saying is find your thing, find your groove, find your way that helps you to dissolve stuff. I have been doing EFT or tapping since, like, I don't know, my late teens when I was first introduced to it. And sometimes I forget to go back to it, right? So don't beat yourself up on it. Just go, oh, bam, okay, that's great. Let's come back to this. This is what's going to work right now. So start tapping or start singing, you know, whatever superstar song you love, a song that maybe puts you back in your power or helps mend your broken heart, whatever it is. Don't worry about beating yourself up on what you know or you feel you should be doing. Just coming to what feels right now. And if it's stillness or if it's movement or if it's vocal, whatever it is, let it be that, and just give yourselves permission to be in the presence of whatever activity you are doing mindfully rather than mindlessly. See you.
All right, thanks guys. I'm off to bed. Got to get up early to go to Fiji tomorrow. Can't wait for that. But I'm super
Have fun.
Have fun. See some of you guys there, no doubt, and see the rest of you very soon at convention, which is going to be extremely awesome. Sorry about being so fired up tonight. I'm just a little bit bored of all that stuff. So let's really take it to the next level in Australia and have impeccable integrity and raise that vibration and be awesome together.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
See you all soon.
See you guys.